guarantee that we will be protected from that not happening en masse like it did in Katrina. Thousands of guns were confiscated by regular Army and by National Guard units.
Well, I can't speak about what happened in Katrina, but what I can say is, you know, I know that everything on the internet is not necessarily true as we see it. And really, when you come back to what the facility is designed for and what we do here, we share it very openly. There's no secrets to be had. When you talk about what protects us, well, you know, the United States Constitution is what protects us, and that's what the U.S. Army is here for, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And I would hope that all of our you know, our listeners and viewers out there would appreciate what our soldiers are doing for us on a day-to-day basis. It's really the opposite of what the caller had articulated. It's really to protect the United States.
All right, I want to get through a couple more of these callers really quick. I kind of want to keep this piece contained. You need to get this out. This is a breaking bulletin. This just came out today. Everybody needs to go watch it. You need to go comment on it. You need to spread this around all over the place. U.S. Army Asymmetric Warfare Training Center on cspan.org. You could just do a search. There's the title right there. Do a search for it. We're going to put it in the bottom of the description
Also,
of the video.
look up the location. You can get the number, their PIO, their public information officer. Troll them. Call them. Ask them why this is happening. Why is this happening in our country?
Be a liberty troll.
Yeah, go out there and ask questions. I want you to ask so many questions and call them so much that their lines shut down, that they're not able to use the internet because we broke the internet there for them.
Yeah.
Everyone in America should be pissed off about this stuff. You know, this is out of control. Call them, email them, get on their Facebook. They've got Facebook pages. Get out there and ask them questions why this is going on. Because all these callers are saying that they are concerned about this, much like everyone is about Jade Helm.
And they're all dismissed every time with this pretty much the same answer. Our third caller, Lenny in Arizona. This is a lady that asked the colonel how he feels about Jade Helm. And he says he's not familiar with the exercise. Apparently he hasn't been watching the news at all, because that's all everybody's talking about, how we're crazy that we think that it's weird that Special Forces want to train here on our soil.
If you get on the internet, on social media, or turn on the TV to a mainstream media source, you will hear a story hitting us.
Usually a hit piece.
Yeah, a hit piece about us, about our investigating into this and what it is.
And if you think a colonel in the Army doesn't have a report on this by now and isn't aware that the same people that broke this story about Jade Helm were also at his little Fort AP Hill covering that. Remember the entrance to Fort AP Hill? How'd you feel about driving? They show the nice sign in the beginning, the entrance. Yeah. Remember the sign you went through? It looked like something out of Mad Max.
Yeah, I mean,
that entrance.
I had goosebumps going through that place because, you know, you hear about stuff like this, you see videos on the internet, but until you're actually there, you see the size and scale of this area, much like the size and scale of the Jade Helm operation coming up. It is unsettling. Yeah. And this is something that luckily we're able to get out, bring to the attention of the American people, and shut it down.
Yeah, use your First Amendment while you have it. Use INFOWARS while you have it. I mean, we're a resource here. We provide all this stuff for you, especially if you got a Prison Planet TV membership. You can download these videos. Even if we're shut off YouTube, you could still go onto our own network and download stuff and get it out to people. You know, you could put take our videos and put them on YouTube yourself. We don't care. We just want to get the word out. Let's go to our third caller, Lenny, and let's listen to the Colonel's reaction and answer to what he says about Jade Helm.
Yes, good morning, Colonel. I wanted to alert our citizens and to get an explanation, if we could, for an exciting military training called Jade Helm 15, which is all over the internet. I guess it involves 10 states, and there's going to be civilians participating in towns like Big Spring, Texas. Could you explain the magnitude of that and what the purpose of that is? And apparently you're going to have crisis actors, and they're going to be soldiers dressed in uniform and not in uniform, and apparently it's very exciting. Could you explain that to us? Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, it's not something that I'm familiar with, so I can't really explain that. But I do know that those type of things are things that we do here, where we get our soldiers the opportunity to work within an environment where there are civilians and soldiers. As a matter of fact, one of the things I could talk about is that, unfortunately, I just don't know about that particular exercise. But when you talk about soldiers operating within an environment where there's civilians, one of the things we're looking at here at Fort AP Hill is a program of using using autonomous robots. Essentially what we do is we've taken a number of robots that can operate independently, walk up and down these streets. We can dress some up in uniforms, we can dress some up in civilians clothes, and we can use that as a chance here at AP Hill to train our soldiers how to discriminate between friendly forces, forces that may be evacuated. And that's just one of those great things that we're able to do at AP Hill. Again, I'm sorry, I'm just not familiar with that exercise.
So that was the third caller. They were opening the lines up for people. It seems like the only people that care are real Americans who are really concerned about issues that we think people should be concerned about, because this is a long stand. This didn't just happen this year. It's not like, oh, you know, the police are giving out NRAPs and stuff. That all didn't just happen this year. This has been a long-standing goal. And it starts with the UN, how they want to come in and confiscate guns here eventually. That's what's going to happen. That's
they even put out some applications or some job opportunities for position in New York for just that.
Well, and then you got the Army putting out the internment resettlement specialist. It's right there. And you can see they're looking for people to run internment camps.
See, that's the thing, though. We don't just come up with these ideas. We don't just conjure these ideas up. We actually go, we find the facts. Someone sends in a document that we haven't seen. We go, we research it ourselves, just like with the Jade Helm thing. They said they denied that those slides ever existed, but yet when you went to SOCOM and you went and looked at their website,
it's right there.
They're right there, clearly stating suspicious activity, helicopters at night, all this stuff going on. And meanwhile, they bring in their PSYOP puppet, their Lieutenant Colonel Mark Lastoria. Oh no, that's not happening at all. Meanwhile, it's in their slide.
Yeah,
this is all a giant PSYOP. It has to stop. But like we said, that's what this entire piece is about, is a mass awakening.
Right, exactly. Because they're putting out the propaganda, but what was being countered by was real, hardworking, thinking Americans who are like, you know what, we're sick and tired of this. This is total BS. We're calling you out on it now. And I love it that C-SPAN actually puts this stuff out. But what I love even more is the reaction to the American people, the sleeping giant awakening.
I wonder how many people who didn't call in
feel the same way.
Like, or are scared and had no idea about this whatsoever, or going like, man, what is going on?
That's the city. That's an American city.
Yeah, I see that too.
That looks like my church.
Exactly. How many people are thinking that right now? How many people are going to come and look at this? Once we get this out, people are going to wake up in even larger numbers.
We're going to skip the fourth caller. It was Paul from Florida, who kind of takes a Ron Paul position of talking about blowback. We're going around being the policeman of the world, and that's going to bring us repercussions, which we've already seen. That's kind of old news. But I encourage you to watch the whole thing. Fifth caller, Justin from California. He goes, I agree with all the other callers.
Yeah.
That this is scary stuff, and it looks like an American city, not other countries. But he also wants the people of America to wake up that this is the new U.S. military and that they might be preparing to take on their very own people. And the colonel responds saying that nobody should think this is scary.
I mean, that's a good point. This is the new U.S. military. We have transitioned from moving around to these OCONUS theaters of operation, and things are starting to heat up more on the CONUS side here in America, here in the continental U.S. You know, we already have ISIS in America. We had this attack in Garland, Texas. You know, they named 5 states, 3 of which are in the top 10 strictest gun law states. You know, Michigan, which is right there at the Great Lakes where ISIS could come over. James O'Keefe showed that. You know, all this stuff is coming together right now. There's a massive awakening happening, and people aren't happy, and they do not trust what the government is putting out.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Bastrop, people were yelling out, hey, man, this is a PSYOP. You guys are just trained to try to help quell the people who are still asleep. Everyone who's awake understands that this is complete and total BS.
And you can't, in the bottom line, you can't trust known liars. How many times has the federal government lied to us? Because, well, you know, it's always, well, if we just do it this way, you just go along with us, it'll be okay. We're sick of going along with you. You've ruined the economy. You've let the bankers take over. And you're not looking out for us. You let Monsanto just run rampant on the environment. I mean, we have to put a stop to it somehow. Or nothing's going to change. So we're going to go to the last caller here, Justin from California. You need to watch this. And then we're going to go to break after that. I don't really have anything more to say on this other than you need to get this out to everybody you know, okay? Because you don't just need to watch the PSYOP piece by itself, although you'll be able to watch that. You can go watch, but listen to our commentary and start let your own wheels turn. See if you think we're crazy or not. We're also, during this, we were putting up footage of the Fort AP Hill footage we shot. Now, that was that Joe Biggs and David Knight went out and shot. It was last year.
About a year ago.
Been about a year. Yeah. And they got detained at the end. I mean, it was ridiculous. They freaked out that we went up there and shot that footage. But now they're not so afraid of it because now they're controlling the narrative. That's how it works. So you need to do your research into this and let everybody know what's going on. We're going to go to this fifth caller. This is Justin from California, and then we're going to go to break, and we'll be back here with Jakari Jackson, you're going to stay, right? You got more to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about ISIS in America and some more Jade Helm news.
Hey, you're watching the InfoWars Nightly News. It is not scripted. There's no teleprompter there, and that's thanks to your support, because it's because your support that we can do all this here. PrisonPlanet.tv. Please consider get your membership. We'll be right back after our caller here, and then go on a break.
I got to reflect what a lot of the callers have said today, and as I'm watching the program now, this is just very scary stuff. This looks almost like Western or American cities, rather than being prepared for what we're going to face out in other countries. And the colonel has said we've got to be prepared for this and all of that. This is almost every caller, and the people that are listening right now, I think, understand that this is a very scary and new thing that the military looks like it's going to be taking on, that could be against its very own people, American people. Everything I've seen except for this one mosque has been in English. It says Main Street. Main Street. Okay,
we'll let our guest respond, caller.
What I'd say is it is a very complicated world out there, and you shouldn't find it scary or frightening. You should find it reassuring that that we're training our soldiers to be able to operate across a broad spectrum of facilities. When I had said I've been in the Army a little bit of time, and when I first come in, we spent all our time walking through the woods, learning how to fight in the wood line, how to navigate with a map and compass in areas like that, and then come to realize when we were called by our nation to perform a mission, we were operating in an urban center, and how we did that, whether it was us helping soldiers or our soldiers operating in the current or the conflicts that we most recently operated in, all of those were in an urban environment where we had to learn how to operate in and among where people are, because really the U.S. military, as we operate across the world, there are enemy forces, and they mix themselves in with friendly forces all the time. And as the robot example that I gave up, we need to be able to have our soldiers discriminate between what's friendly and what's enemy. When I was growing up in the Army, one of the things they always used to say about our soldiers is, hey, a soldier is really doing the right thing when they do the right thing when nobody's watching them. And that was really how you said, hey, our soldiers are really disciplined and doing the right thing. Well, as the world has changed, now what we have to be able to ask our soldiers to do is do the right thing when the whole world is watching.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosates that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today, and for a limited time, use the promo code WATER20 and get 20% off all ProPure products. Again, that's InfoWarsStore.com, or give our crew a call at 888-253-3139.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.
I'm Jakari Jackson, joined in studio by Joe Biggs, and we're here to talk about something that's very controversial, I guess, in nature.